Hi everyone. Sorry it took me a second. My stream was all set up and it's like it's weird cuz like um on our streaming software on a computer, we click go live, and if we're doing something on Twitch, then it just goes live. But on YouTube, you have to click go live on you, and then you have to go to like your stream page on YouTube and then click go live there. And so I clicked go live, and yet though it wasn't showing up on YouTube. So I was just like, I'm live. I'm live right now. Like, why won't you register? So I had to like stop it, close stuff down, bring it back up. It was a pain in the ass. What's up, Rock? What's up, Sass Queen? What's up, B Whoop? What's up, Birdman? Uh, I hope everyone's doing well. So I'll make sure things to look. I moved my camera while I was on my home screen, so I was like, I should probably do that when I can actually see. Okay, cool. Just want to make sure like I can work in a comfortable spot. Like if I'm right here, this is where I rest my arms, and so I'm like, can I work like this? Can I work like this? I can't work under these conditions, Jerry. Why not? We're live. Alrighty. I hope everyone's doing well. And again, I was trying to get my music to go through, and I got it to work once on this computer, and now I can't get it to work again, so what are you gonna do? You'll have to listen to my dumb voice. I hope everyone's good. So I'm gonna be. I'm sure y'all are very tired of seeing me paint Age of Sigmar, but I'm gonna be painting some more Age of Sigmar. I've done at this point 23 minis from Age of Sigmar. So next one of these big floaty angel looking dudes. And I guess this guy here is the captain or something like that because his wings are more spread out than these two. Oh, these are a pain. They like to fall over a lot. But so, what's up, Quicksand? Are these also from Sigmar? Yes, B-Whoop, they are indeed. Yeah, I heard about that, Rock. That sucks, man. Hi, Missy. Hey, Nick, you guys get any plans for this weekend? Got any plans to play, any games to play coming down the pike? I'm going to be playing, it's probably Sierra West tonight, maybe Planet, maybe Colors of Paris, with our good friends Jimmy and Hannah. But that's it. And then we're going to play games with our friend Crook tomorrow. I don't know what we're going to play, though. So definitely games we played this weekend. I'm not sure what. In terms of games that are coming down the line to play, not really. We've gotten through most of the stuff that we wanted to get through, that we got from Gen Con. We've played at this point most of it. There's like one or two things we haven't played. We still haven't played Abomination. Maybe like one other. But for the most part, at this point, we've kind of gotten through most of the Gen Con stuff. So that's good. So at this point, it's kind of just playing whatever we want. Yeah, so I'm not sure. What about you, dude? It's looking hot in LA today. It's actually not too bad. I am in a tank top today, but it's actually not too bad. The wings are pretty metal. The wings are very cool. I'm very excited to paint these wings. I think I'm going to do like white to like a blue and do a wet blend along them to kind of like have a nice gradient between blue and white. I think it's looking really cool. And then again, they're all being lifted up by these like scrolls. Warhammer loves these scrolls. I don't know why, but almost every mini has scrolls like this. And these ones apparently are lifting them off the ground. So I'm probably going to be... so I already airbrushed them all gold, which is why there's gold spillover into the wings and such, because I was just airbrushing them, because whenever I'm doing more than one mini, it's just so much faster to airbrush the base coat, because these guys are almost completely gold. I mean, you can see like a finished one is like something like this here, and you can see they're mostly gold. I mean, they are primarily gold. So it's just so much easier to airbrush them for a base coat, because it just takes... I can airbrush these three things in literally like a minute or a minute and a half. And if I was just painting them with a brush, painting all this gold on there, each one would take me 15 to 20 minutes probably. I mean, it is incredibly fast comparatively. So I'm going to do a little bit of cleanup work, but it was totally worth it. So I'm going to finish doing the base coat for these guys. And then depending on how quickly that goes, I may start the base coat for this guy. This is one of the leaders. He's got a skull head. Ooh. And then he's got this big old, I don't know what it is, but this big thing. And then he also has, of course, scrolls that will come out of his back. The problem is if I glue this on now, it's going to be damn near impossible to paint anything in here. So I'm going to paint all this, then paint these, and then glue them on afterwards. So I may start painting this guy. It depends on how quickly the base coating for these guys go. But again, the base coat hopefully won't take that long because the vast majority of them are already painted with that gold. But the first thing I'm going to do is I want to put this guy onto here because these guys I already had to glue onto their bases because I needed them to be able to stand. But this guy I'm going to do my normal pinhole thing and pin his ass this piece of cork. Oh, what's up, Dave Phillips? How you doing, bro? Ooh, David Moss is doing Stop Thief for the first time tonight. Looking forward to trying it. It's outstanding. Are you playing co-op or competitive? You should play co-op. Co-op is the way to do it. What's up, Dan Hughes? I was just talking to you, you beautiful man. What are you doing, bruh? You still painting? What are you painting right now, Dan? At last, the live stream is civilized time. Hey, get pumped. We have been talking about doing another stream day. And we have more or less decided and committed to, if we're going to do another stream day, that it's going to be in the morning. And the reason for that is to hit the European market. Because people in Europe or even farther, people in the Middle East and stuff like that who want to watch us generally can't because we stream in the middle of the night for you all. So if we do start another stream, it's going to be during the day. So we may be able to stream with you more often. Greg Spiegelman? What? Greg Spiegelman's calling me. I have not talked to Greg Spiegelman probably like 2 years. So that's interesting. I'm not going to pick up because I'm streaming. But so I have this little pin drill. So I'm going to do is I'm going to drill into his feetsies here. And then insert these, oh shoot. Oh man, I don't have my damn super glue. David took it. I don't know where he put it. But no, so I'm going to drill into their feet, like up to here. Insert these, and then I stick them into the cork. That way he's standing on the cork. So the main thing with this is you just want to make sure you're going at the same angle as their legs so that you don't breach. And then you just turn. What's up, Battle Creek? What's up, Dutch Yoda? Falling for you. I'm falling for you. Trying to make sure I don't accidentally push on this thing too hard and break it off or something. That's probably pretty good. I'm not satisfied the European fan base of my own. You do very good, Dutch Yoda. Trust me, you are seriously so committed. It's bananas. The fact that you watch us as often as you do is so insane. I'm worried that I'm going to stab my hand here, but we're going to see. That's right, Birdman. We're flaunting our riches. Mike and I opened a business account yesterday. Jealous. We just wanted a centralized place to put our hordes of riches. We opened a business account yesterday. We felt very, very adult. I'm Dan who said I'm 15 models off finishing all the models in Batman Gotham City. That's where I was like, I seen you painting something recent. I couldn't remember what it was. That's right, it was Batman. Yeah, that's a beast right there. That's a lot of models. Fire. It's taken me 2 months. I bet, dude. Yeah, I am not sad that I did not get that game. For that reason alone. The sheer amount of minis that are in that game are incredible. The minis aren't crazy detailed though, so I guess that's nice. So since I have plastic glue, like I have this super glue here, but this is not great for doing metal like this. It's mostly for plastic. So what I do, I don't know why I have to approve this, but apparently I have to approve this. What's going on? So this is green stuff, by the way. Green stuff is very cool, and it's something I'm not very good at working with. I do not need this much. Oh well. I've had this little thing of green stuff now for like 4 or 5 years. Zach asks, how long have I been painting minis? Oh Lord. I started painting back in North Hollywood. God, probably like 5 years now that I think about it. Yeah, probably about 5 years. So green stuff, by the way, comes in this kind of yellowish green and this blue. And as like this, it's malleable. It doesn't do anything. But when you mix it up, it becomes a kind of a dark greenish color. And then over the span of like a day or so, it'll harden. And it'll harden basically into the hardness of plastic. And so you can essentially sculpt out of this. What a lot of people do is they use it to fill in gaps. Like, so if you're putting minis together, there's a gap, like say around the shoulder line, they'll fill it in to smooth it over to make sure there's no gap. Or a lot of times, people will build entire bases, entire terrains, entire like arms and weapons. People are incredibly good with this. But yeah, I've been painting minis for about 4 or 5 years now. Zach, I started with Zombicide, base Zombicide. Do I play Age of Sigmar? I don't. So now you can see this is kind of this dark green. So now over the span of a day, this will like harden into plastic, more or less. So I don't need this much. It's hard to roll a small amount. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to place this at the base of the hole there. And in lieu of super glue, I'm going to push this in there. Ow. Yeah, no, Nick's bleeding. That was a stupid ass idea. Let's do this in a smarter way now. Could have seen that one coming. And I'm just going to push it in there. Boom. And then that should stay in there at least well enough. I can always glue this down later. I'm mostly just trying to get it in there so that I don't have these moving around on me. Piss off. Piss off, blood. I don't need you. I'm better than you. Nobody makes me bleed my own blood. Nobody. So now I'll just clean up the rest of the screen stuff, getting it off there. Piss off. Now I got blood on my damn mini. Good, it'll make it more real and gritty. Okay. So now hopefully... Piss off. But yeah, going back to... I don't play Age of Sigmar, Dan. I am painting this for my roommate, Tall David, because he is going to use these minis in a D&D campaign. These are going to be essentially this... Is this blood? God damn, I'm bleeding like crazy from that little stick. Jesus Christ. Pissing me off. Despite the fact that I'm generally a moron, I don't actually do that very often. Oof, that one was stupid, though. But yeah, so my friend David is... has all these Age of Sigmar minis that he's going to use in a D&D campaign. Essentially, the idea of it is that the group, the D&D group that they're playing with, these guys are these like anti-magic coalition where they only believe in like holy magic. So they only believe in magic if you're like a cleric or like a paladin. And any other magic, even if you use it for good, any other magic is considered like blasphemy and is considered evil. And so they essentially like hunt down magic users and kill them. So he's been having me make this whole horde army. So I have like these guys, they're kind of like range dudes. I have like these guys as kind of like lieutenant dudes. And then, you know, like these guys, which are also kind of like the big lieutenant dudes. And then, some ranged people, and then of the ranged people there's also like the big lieutenant dude up on his high thing. It's like the big boss guy. So that's why I'm painting these. I don't actually play Age of Sigmar. I haven't really had much interest in Age of Sigmar, but was just getting them. He hired me to paint them, so. And Francisco, I just answered your question as well. I got a set of Splintered Fang last night. I don't know what Splintered Fang is. What is that? It's like a minis game? Yeah, Zach, don't worry about sucking. You're going to suck at painting for a while. Everyone does. My early stuff is not great. My thing with painting is like start with something that you don't really care about. That's why starting with Zombicide is the perfect thing to start with, because if they look like crap, they're zombies. Who cares? It doesn't really matter. So, I realized I need a paper towel. But yeah, start with something that is easy, easy to paint and doesn't really matter if you screw up. That's where the money's at when it comes to starting out mini painting. Okay, so I don't need my pin drill anymore. So again, this is generally how I paint people, is I drill into their feet and then put them on some cork like that. But that guy we're only going to get to if I have time. And considering how slow I paint, I probably won't have time. But so again, we're going to finish the base coats on these bing bongs. I guess I'll just start with this big ass dude. Although I need to put weight underneath his base here because he's leaning, which is really cool looking, but like it means he just falls over super easily.
I seem to be having trouble hearing you. Sorry about that.
Siri, I was not talking to you. Shut up. Siri be listening all the time, and it freaks me out. Like literally this has happened like twice in a row where like we've been talking. We were talking to Karen, Mike's lady Karen, about why flamingos are pink. And flamingos are pink, by the way, because of their diet, because they eat shrimp. And she was just like, is that real? And I was like, yeah, I'll Google it right now. And I pulled up Google and I typed in why, and it said the first suggestion was, why are flamingos pink? And I'm like, yeah, they're listening a little too closely, and it's freaking me out a little bit. Just to let you know, your phone is listening to you at all times. And it should worry you. Alrighty. Okay, so what do I want to do first? First of all, I want to see... David wants them painted. I have my Age of Sigmar book here. I'm trying to see exactly what the paint scheme for these bing bongs is. Like, what's blue, what's... Oh, that's the wrong dudes. Okay, so basically they're... Okay. Okay. I got it. What's up, Cheryl? Games Workshop do a fantastic blood paint. I like, was it Blood for the Blood Gods? I like Blood for the Blood Gods a lot. Good news, if you pass out for blood loss while streaming, we can call for help. Exactly. This is a riot. Are these 3D printed? No, they're from Games Workshop. They're just normal minis from them. I have not gotten into 3D printing any minis yet. I would like to get into that. Splinted Fang are a warband for Warcry. It's a small skirmish game in the Age of Sigmar universe. Okay, cool. I did not know that. My wife refuses to have Alexa in the bedroom, just saying I really don't like Alexa. We have an Alexa here and it really bothers me. I don't like them at all. You're bugging your own home. Like, that is legitimately what's happening. I love it. All right, so, oh man, these are going to be kind of a pain to paint. I probably should have painted their wings separately. Especially this guy. This guy is going to be extremely difficult to paint. Okay, well. Yeah, I really should have painted their wings separately. Oh well. Let's go ahead and start with blue. Do I have more calendar? So for the blue parts of their like shields and their pauldrons and like their dresses, I know they're called something else, but I always called them dresses. I've just been doing calendar blue and then doing a wash and some highlights. Have you heard of this new 3D printer that prints upside down for $230? I have not. There's a couple ones that do that. I think Form 3's print upside down. I'm not entirely sure what the benefit for that is, but I know there's a decent amount of printers that do it, so there must be a benefit. I wish y'all could hear my music. It really bugs me when this thing just decides to not work half the time. It really bugs me. Hi, Lynn. That's the best thing about Siri and Alexa. I try and say as many inappropriate things as possible to see if cops turn up. Hey, man, why not? Okay, where did I put the... I didn't put it anywhere. It's up here still. And that is going to be the end of this blue. I do have another one over here, though, so I have enough blue. But that is the end of that pot. I'm going to add some water to thin it down. And then if it is going to be, if I'm going to work on like multiple minis at once, like I am here, where I have, be using the same color a lot, I will add a little bit of flow enhancer to slow down the drying time, because I don't like it when my paints dry out. It's no layer lines. Really? No layer lines? Why would there not be any layer lines? Ooh, Missy, you got your Death by Monster shirt? Send us a picture of it. I want to see. I haven't gotten one yet. And yes, we do have merch. It's on Redbubble. Alrighty. Let's go ahead. Oh, this is dumb. I really should not have put these wings on. Oh yeah, these ones are gonna be a pain in the ass to paint. Because the only thing that's holding them on is this, and this moves a decent amount. Like, it's gonna be a pain to paint these. What a good idea, Nick. Oh man, these are gonna be impossible. This pauldron's gonna look like hot garbage. I don't know. Oh, this is such a dumb idea. And I almost painted the damn wings separately, and I was like, it'll be fine. Oh man. That is gonna be incredible. The good thing about when you have something in a really hard to reach place like this, you really only need the base coat because of the fact that it's so far back here. No light will be hitting it, so you don't need to highlight anything or anything like that. But man, oh man, that's not ideal. All right, what are you gonna do? That was dumb. Um, The Death by Monster logo is Lurker Genius. I know, I wish I had done it. People are like, did you do it? I'm like, no, Gary did it. Gary's way better at that kind of stuff than me. Yeah, I think the Death by Monsters logo is absolutely amazing. The problem with these things being so damn shaky, it greatly, because my hands shake, so it exacerbates that issue. Ugh. This is the worst base painting job I think I've ever done. There's gonna be a lot of touch up on these freaking bing bongs right here. I'll tell you that right now. Um, I see you still keep dropping in your English accent. I love it. I legitimately cannot help it. Is that it on this guy? That might be it. Oh, I'm gonna do his little sash. So this weapon right here, this big ass hammer. I almost said axe. This big hammer right here is actually not on this model. I cut his arms off and put this big hammer on it. He's supposed to have two small hammers like this, but I decided to savagely rip his arms off and give him a bigger hammer because he's supposed to be like the lieutenant guy. And this hammer actually goes to this guy right here. But I cut his arms off and gave him a double-handed axe instead. So I had this hammer left over. So then I ripped out this guy's arms off and put it on him instead. And then this guy here also was supposed to have a hammer, basically exactly like this. But again, ripped his hands off, gave him swords instead. Which I'm really, really enjoying, by the way, is starting to customize and again, you can now see how much my hands shake. And it's a huge issue. Stop it! It's just exacerbated. One question I always had about painting. I know you're supposed to water down paint as you go. To what consistency? It depends. That's kind of a big debate. The consistency of milk, I tend to go thicker than that. The consistency of milk is especially true if you're airbrushing. If you're airbrushing, you need the paint thinner than if you are brushing. So the consistency of milk is definitely the consensus for, oh my god, it's gonna be such a pain. For airbrushing. For brushing, it's kind of up to you. You don't want it too thick because you can obscure some fine details if it's too thick. But here's my thing. I am lazy and impatient. A lot of people, what they do is they have it thin, but then to get a nice, even, flat coat, they have to, you'll end up having to do 2 or 3 coats. And to me, I'm like, fool, I ain't got time for that. I'm not trying to win awards. So I always have my paint thin. I'm a 1 coat kind of guy. If I can't do it in 1 coat, screw that. I don't care. I will not take the time to do multiple coats. But then again, I'm not the best painter. So like, and I'm certainly not the most committed painter. But yeah, the consistency of milk, water it down a decent amount. You don't want it to be like transparent. You want to keep the pigment saturation. And the more you water something down, the more pigment the water is going to take out of the paint. Unless you're using something called Lamian medium. Lamian medium is a medium that works with acrylic paints. So what it does is it thins down the paint, but it doesn't strip away. Oh, crap. Oh, yeah, I mean, I am screwing this one up so hardcore. These guys are much harder to paint than I was expecting. Lamian medium will thin down your paint to a much more even consistency and not lose any pigment. The issue is you have to buy Lamian medium. You don't have to buy water. So I really only use Lamian medium to thin down stuff if I'm really concerned about it. But mostly what I use Lamian medium to thin down is washes. Because washes, by their nature, are already much, much, much thinner than paints. If you thin them down with water, they tend to lose like all their pigment. So I use my Lamian medium to thin down washes mostly. But yeah, so I'm actually not a huge paint thinner. I don't thin it down a ton. I do it more now, but because I hate doing multiple coats. It drives me crazy. I'm like, no, I don't have time for this. I want 1 coat and done. I'm a 1 coat kind of gal. Yeah, these are going to be a nightmare. These are going to be an absolute nightmare. Oh, I just painted all over his arms and stuff. Oh, this is crap. This is garbage. I kind of want to paint his scrolls, not just the normal, like this color, that kind of parchment color right here. They're so boring. I don't get the scrolls. Did you use contrast paint for Batman? Zach said, thanks for the advice. I like you and your brother's content. Watch your board game videos all the time. I have to come back and check out this Foley piece. All right, Zach, you're probably gone by this point, but thank you for being here and thank you for the kind words. I appreciate you. I've been looking at those contrast paints. I don't think I'd ever use them, but they're very cool if you're trying to paint something quick. Very, very cool. At least personally, Jeff, I just started painting. Again, I started painting with the zombie side because I knew that if I screwed him up, whatever, I can just cover him up with blood. But you can find like cheap minis, like cheap bones minis at a game store. Just practice on those. All right, so these guys have a little bit more blue on them. Thanks for us, me. Sorry if I'm not. It's hard to get these guys on camera very well and hold them well. And that's usually how it goes, Rock. Yeah, I'm gonna do a ton of touch up on these guys. That sucks. Oh shoot, I didn't look at that. So I forgot that in between their plates back here, they have some of their cloth showing. That's right, Jeff. You're not wrong about that. You do, Dutch. My boy's practicing green toy soldiers. Yeah, get like a bucket of like toy soldiers. Yeah, it's like that's a really great way to practice. Pauldrons, blue pauldrons. They're so hard. What's everyone doing this weekend? Anybody doing anything fun? I'm actually gonna be playing a decent amount of games this weekend, which I'm pumped about. I'm just not even trying to be precise anymore. I know I'm gonna have to go do so much retouching that I'm kind of like, screw it. There's nothing worse than like spending a bunch of time on a base coat, and then when you're doing the other color of the base coat, you end up touching your old base coat and having to redo a bunch of it. That's literally going to be my entire life with these guys. Sun goes down. Now, luckily, there's not much blue on them. It's mostly their little thingy down here. Their pauldrons, if they have any of the blue showing back here. And that's pretty much it. So that's actually kind of nice, is this isn't too much. Now, is there any? There is, of course. And of course, it's frick. How the hell am I going to get to that? Oh, man. Oh, this guy is such a pain. The sun goes down. The sun goes down. Okay, there we go. That wasn't too bad. What's up, Matt Covington? How you doing? I actually probably did not need this much blue. Oh well. So these two are actually exactly the same, except for you can position their arms differently. So I made it where their hammers are different, but other than that, they're literally exactly the same. So this guy is different, but these two are actually exactly the same. So it should be just as much stuff to paint. Sun goes down. Sun goes down. Is there anything anyone would specifically like to see me try and paint? I have more Age of Sigmar stuff I'm going to have to end up doing. And again, I won't do all of it on stream, of course. But, like, that's kind of mostly what I have right now. So if there's anything someone would like to see me paint, please let me know. And I'll try and make sure I paint that on stream. Sun goes down. Sun goes down. Also realize, since I'm right-handed, I should probably have this camera over on this side. I might try and move it here in a bit, because I realize my left hand is almost always blocking what I'm doing. It actually would probably be less intrusive. I might try and move it here in a second. Hold on. Let me finish up what I'm doing. Paint Mike, you got it. The big 3-foot tall Cthulhu? Nah. 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 I refuse. I refuse. I think it's so ridiculous. Also, it's gross. I just don't like painting things like Cthulhu. It's disgusting looking. She's got like weird suckers all over him. Like, oh god, I don't want to have to look at that for that long. It's one of those things like I've never painted. We have the others, and I've never painted the others because I'm like, dude, these are already gross ass minis. I feel like if I paint them, they're gonna be even like so much more disgusting that it's gonna make me want to play the game less. And we already don't play the game very much. And I would feel that same way about that giant ass Cthulhu. I'm like, dude, I want to see his big ass crack. I don't need my games to have a 1 foot long ass crack. And that's exactly what that mini's got. I'm like, nah, I'm cool off that. Ain't not wrong with some ass, but that's I don't need it in my board game like that. Okay. That's all the blue, actually. There's actually less blue than I thought. Hey, Mikey. Just put blame on everything. That always makes things super badass. You're right. Seriously, maybe the Clank Upper Management Pack. If we had it, I'd paint it. That beautiful flow. What shampoo do you use? I use Head and Shoulders with Old Spice, so my hair always smells like Old Spice. It's dope. Oh, but flames. Oh, I got you, Mikey. Yeah, flames. You're not wrong. I don't mind the world of Cthulhu, Birdman. I don't mind that world. The stuff is inherently gross. And I don't mind if like there's like a Cthulhu mini and he's kind of gross or whatever, but like I don't need a 3 foot tall like nasty ass looking mini. Like ew, I don't want that in my life. I just don't. No Cthulhu shaman going on here, but man, I really don't want that. All right, let me see if I can move this. Sorry, we're gonna have some earthquakes going on. So if I have this here, maybe I can turn this. And then when I'm painting like this, oh, that's much better, Nick. Now this is kind of super in my way though. So let's. Oh shoot! I forgot. These are bases for unmatched. I forgot to bring them. Forgot to take them out. Okay, hold on. I gotta reposition everything. Clipper. Everything's got to shift. Everything's got to shift. This is not my normal setup. Okay, so if I'm painting this bing bong like this, no, because then my hand's gonna bug. Okay, hold on. Can I put it here? Nick should have worked this out earlier. If I put it like here and do like this. All right, we're gonna try it there. We're gonna try it there. Good call, Mike. Everyone thumb it up if you think I'm a nerd. Your hair does smell like Old Spice. You're right. I feel that way about Rising Sun. The minis are so awesome, but the guy with the bodies is kind of gross. Yeah, I'm like, I don't need that in my life. I don't need that in my life. I just don't. Nothing against those minis, but they're gross. They're disgusting. And I just don't want giant versions of them. I don't want that. I don't want that. Oh, I passed by an In-N-Out earlier, and I had to stop. I was just like, I needed it. I needed it. By the way, if anyone did not hear, they just announced it today, but Mikey and I will be going to AirCon in the UK, I believe in a mythical land called Yorkshire. We will be going to AirCon. We're very, very excited. It made me feel good. Okay, so what else do I actually have to do on these bing bongs? I gotta do the shafts. I gotta do their belt thingies. I just got the scrolls and these big ass wings, and then their weapons, and that's it. So again, that's kind of the whole point of the airbrush. It's like I really have very little else to do. Now again, I still take forever to do it because I suck at this, but there's not much else for me to do. Making me feel good. I painted my D&D mini and really enjoyed it, but it was much harder than I realized. It's tough. It's not so, it's hard. It's just different, I think is what it is. So yeah, that's my thing. It's like, it's different. You know, that's to me what it feels like. Just don't get your drink in the paint water. You have no idea how closely I've almost drank this cup, which is my paint cup. Luckily, at this point, it's so covered in paint that I haven't, but I've almost drank it many times. So, it's not a bad warning. Okay. What do I want to do next? Let's go ahead. Let's just do the black on the... Did I get another black? I need another black. Why didn't I get another one? Let's go into the black. They have swords here. I don't know if you can see that very well, but they have swords here. And so I'm going to paint, like the bottom part here is going to be metal. The top part here is going to be metal. That lightning bolt will be metal, but the part in between there is going to be black. At least that's how I've been painting them. So I'm going to keep painting them that way. Now I won't need much of this. So again, so this is such a small amount that I'm not going to use any flow enhancer, which I usually use to extend the drying time. This, I only have one thing to paint black, so I'm not going to waste my flow enhancer on it. Because flow enhancer, I mean, this bottle of flow enhancer is, I don't know, $5. And there's a decent amount in there, but nonetheless, it's like water's free. At least here it is. Congrats on AirCon. Thank you. We're very, very excited. We've heard great things about AirCon. And I know Mr. Hughes goes, and Mr. Jude is a big fan. But yeah, so we did not know it was in the cards, but you know, we are very excited to be able to go. The only problem with this angle is you're going to see just how much I screw up. Is that on camera? It is on camera. Okay. Oh, this angle is way better. Okay. You know, you live and you learn. I think I thinned this one down a little too much. That's okay. Ugh, yet again. So freaking difficult to get to. We're going to leave that. We're going to leave stuff that's super, like, technically there's a part back here that I should paint black, but it's going to be so hard to get to. That is, I just don't care. I just don't care. Howard Hughes going to Aircon. Have you guys messed with basing, as they call it in the biz? Yes, a little bit. I actually really like basing stuff. I actually probably like basing stuff more than I like painting miniatures, to be completely honest. I really, really like basing. I find it to be incredibly fun. And not to mention that, basing is pretty easy, at least compared to painting minis. It's pretty darn simple to do. I'll show you some in a second here. Yeah, I really like basing. I really want... I really want to get more into basing and doing more big, elaborate bases. Because people will build bases that are like this big for like a mini this size. It's so intense. But it's very fun. It's very satisfying. Stop shaking. Stop shaking. Stop shaking. Yeah, so for like normal bases, I'll do like, let's see if I can make sure I get this in focus. I'll do like these, just like sand and some like tufts of grass. That's very basic stuff because David doesn't really want these on like big bases as much as I want them to be. And again, these guys, again, just sand and tufts of grass to Now, for all the ranged guys, I put them onto rock bases, which again is just cork cut up. I really like doing these kinds of bases a lot. Really, really like doing these kinds of bases. And then for kind of like the lieutenant dude, I put him on like on a big base, which even sticks out. I may rip off this part that sticks out because these again for D&D stuff, and it does matter where they're sitting. But I really like the way it looks. But I might rip this part off. But there's that guy, and then the big, like, big bad boss guy is this guy that I put on top of a big old pedestal. So he's standing way up high above everyone else because he's a ranged guy. So he's like, bam! You don't mess with this dude. These guys, I probably won't put much of a base because they're in the sky. I'll probably keep their bases pretty simple. But I love basing. I love basing. It makes your minis look so much cooler. It really does. You want dope-ass minis? Give them dope-ass bases. Now, does this guy have... So this guy actually doesn't have a sword. Oh, he doesn't have a sword. Okay, so I don't need the black for this guy. Okay, never mind. Screw that guy. Ah! They always fall. What's up, Dirth? How you doing, baby? Ooh, you're going to a fall festival, Cheryl. What fun. All right, Battle Cree. Oh, you gotta work this weekend? Boo. Oh, to be fair, I usually work the weekends as well, but... All right, so that was that. What do I want to do for... Okay, so what I have to do still is I'm going to have to... Again, I have to do the scrolls. the whip-ons, and then this guy, I ran out of airbrushing. I ran out of paint in my little paint pot, and I didn't feel like loading a whole nother one just for this little bit, so I actually have to hit him with some gold. But again, I'm gonna have to retouch a lot of these guys with gold anyway, so that's not a huge deal. But I will have to do this part back here with some gold. As you can see, it is up here. All right, so they have their whip-ons. I have their scrolls, their wings, of course, and then these guys there. This part's going to be gold up here. Sorry, this part's going to be gold up here, but this part right here, I'm going to treat kind of as hair and give them, this kind of red orangish hair that I've been doing for all the again, lieutenants, all the kind of big guys, all have hair coming out of their helmets like that. Pulling a little bit of Aomar, who's got a white horse hair coming out of his helmet. Okay, so let's go ahead and do their shafts. For their shafts, I'm gonna do Screamer Pink. I'm gonna do some Screamer Pink as a base, which is like a really dark pink, kind of purpley pink. And then when we put a wash on it, it'll darken it even more. It won't be quite so pink. What's up, Becca? Basic is the best. Fake moss and sand all day, every day. You're right. Again, even sand, like these guys, they're just sand and then a little tuft of grass. They look great. Hi, Rosie. I love you. Rosie, if anyone does not know, is our sister. The sister Murph is in the house. I love you. That's me. We're related. That is accurate. I don't really like having to cross myself, but... All right, so again, this, I'm just doing the shaft, so... And again, this will not end up being nearly as pink as it is now. It's so hard to see. Sister Murph checking in. Okay. Bam. Hi, Slivers. So do I need glasses? Like, no, I'm just trying to get close to it to see what the hell's going on. These guys are pretty intricate, so it's hard to see, like, what's what a lot of times. Bam. So you can borrow my glasses. I'll borrow your glasses, Rosie. You wear them. You never wear like contacts either. I don't think last time I ever saw you not in glasses. Okay, let's get back here. Let's just do the hard part. Oh! Alright. Bam. Bam. Glasses Squad. There's a lot of you. A lot of you freaking nerds wear glasses. Hang on. Nick's music ran out. Nick needs more music. Colors of Autumn? Hell yeah, it's about to be fall, baby. Boom. And again, if anyone has any questions or wants to talk about anything, let me know. These streams are always very chill. At this point, I feel weird without him. You would look weird without him at this point. Like, to be completely honest. Like, I honestly cannot remember a time that you were not wearing glasses. Because even, like, when you're staying at our place here, like, in the morning and stuff like that, you still always have your glasses on. Because you need him to see. So, it's like, I cannot picture you without glasses at this point. Like, I have absolutely no... I can't think of what you'd look like. You probably look the same. But... Alrighty. Alright. Finishing up the shafts of the weapons. And then we'll move on to the metal of the weapons. Then we'll do the scrolls and the wings. And then I'll do the last touch-up bits for the armor and all that kind of stuff. And then we'll be done with these guys. Yeah, I'm walking to 11. Yeah, I know. It's again, it would be very, very odd. It'd be like seeing you without tattoos or something like that. It'd be like, this is not how you look. Why do you not play music? You could go. There we go. And again, I'm sorry my music's not coming through. It's just, it's like a crapshoot. The computer I have here that I stream off of is our old computer, which was really struggling when we replaced it. And we replaced it like 9 months ago at this point. So this one is still really struggling, even more so now. And so someday we'll get me a better computer in here and I can stream off that. Because I can stream off my laptop, but it's not really made for that. So I try not to. Okay, fam. That is going to be the shafts of the weapons. Okay. Boom. What mini that you've painted are you the most proud of? I don't have it here. I would say I painted. Actually, at this point, it was a while ago, but I painted one of the heroes from Zombicide Black Plague. I think his name is Clovis. He's like one of the base heroes. And I painted him really well. Really, really well. Let me see. I'll try and post a picture of it in the Discord right now. I'm sure I have it on my phone. And if you have not joined our Discord, I don't think anyone else can post links, so I think only I can do it. So if you go to discord.thebrothersmurph.com, that should allow you to join our Discord, which you all should, because it's great. But let me see if I can post one in there right now. Chaz and I were just talking about that. I forgot that I have tattoos all the time, and every time someone asks, I'm just like, wait, what? Yeah, you are... Not only do you have tattoos all the time, you are mostly tattoos at this point. You are significantly tattooed. So yeah, it would be weird to see you without tattoos at this point. Very, very weird. Okay, so this is a while ago. This was a while ago. No, was it that long ago? Okay, no, so it's after that. I'm gonna go find it again. All right, yeah. So this is probably my favorite mini so far. It's in the mini painting channel on our Discord. I actually haven't looked at this in a while. Maybe it's not quite as good as I think. No, I'm pretty pumped with it. It's not the best picture, but I really like that one. I think I did that one pretty well. Although now I could probably do it better, to be completely honest. But because that was at least 2 years ago. Is there any particular set of minis I really want to paint? Not really. Not like any like, oh man, I really can't wait to paint the minis from this game. Not really, to be completely honest. I mean, I kind of just want to paint everything. But there's nothing like really specific that I'm like, yes, I want to paint that. I cannot wait till I get to paint this, you know? So not right now. Okay, so I'm going to do the scrolls now. I'm thinking about doing a wet blend from the top to the bottom. So I've been doing for their, where is it? I've been doing for the scrolls. I think I've been doing Carrick Stone. So I'm thinking about doing a wet blend between Carrick Stone and like maybe like a blue. I don't think I want to do like this blue though. Or maybe should I do like something completely different? I don't know. Maybe Hoeth blue. So is that gonna look good? Yeah, let's try this. Screw it. Basically me looking at everything I've painted. I'm going to tie our Gloomhaven mini soon. I want to finish our Gloomhaven. Well, I've painted the two minis that we've been using in Gloomhaven. So, okay, this is loud. This is loud. We get it. You love fall. Yeah, I hear you, Dearth. I'm the exact same way. By the way, give this video a thumbs up if you haven't already. I'm trying to think. I feel like there was something recently where I was like, man, I cannot wait to paint that. And I can't remember what the hell it was. I'm pretty sure there was something. I don't know. I can't think of anything. I am... It's tough because, like, I'm painting all this stuff for Tall David, and I have... This is... After these 4, including this Bing Bong right here, I only have one more mini from this set that I need to paint, and it's going to be this dude. This big old dude right here on top of his big dog dragon thing. That's the last thing. This guy. I don't know if anyone can see it. This is dumb. Putting it here. Boom. That guy. That guy right there. That's the last one. After that, I still have other stuff for this I have to paint for David. But they're all big. They're bigger ones. So, but then on top of that, David has like 2 or 3 games coming in, like Black Rose War. I think Tainted Grail, and I think a couple other ones coming in, and he's gonna want me to paint those too. So I'm gonna be pretty busy painting David's stuff for a while, which is totally fine. And I'm not at all bitter about it. No, I'm really not. I'm pumped to be doing it. But so I'm gonna be doing that for a bit. So I don't really know of ours. Mike and I just don't honestly get that many mini games. We just really don't. A big boy. Yeah, there's like a big snake lady. There's like one of these guys who's like a big like celestial dude, but he's like this tall. He's got like stuff swirling around him. It's wild. So I'm not entirely sure, to be completely honest, what I really want to paint next. I am excited to paint the rest of that big stuff, because I think that could and will be quite a bit of fun, as my lady Lynn would say. Yeah, it's quite a bit of fun. I actually don't know what your accent sounds like. That's my go-to British people, and I'm sure it does not annoy any of you. I got pretty good at Dan for a while. I had a pretty good Dan down. And I had a Yorkshire accent. That's not a Yorkshire accent, but because the people I talk to the most who are of the, I don't want to say from the heathen island that we call the UK, but from the heathen island, were Matthew and Dan, and so I cannot do Matthew though. I cannot even begin to mimic Matthew's accent. I don't know why, but I can't get it down at all. But Dan, I could do pretty good. But are you from Wales, Lynn? Are you the one who's from Wales? Quad Heroes. Quicksand, we don't have it. If I had it, I would be painting Quad Heroes now. I really would like to paint that game. But we don't have it, so I can't paint it. Someone commission me to paint it so I can paint it. Ooh, no, you know what I really want to paint right now? I forgot. I want to paint the minis from Quirky Circuits, because they're so damn cute. All right, we're going to see if this is going to look good. I honestly don't know, and I'm not that confident that it will. But we're going to try it. All right, so we're going to try and do what's called wet blending. So what wet blending is you take thin paint and a decent amount of it, and you essentially put like one half of it on something. That was a good way of describing that, Nick. So basically, like one half up here on the top half, one half on the bottom half, and then you blend them together to make. You can essentially make a gradient between basically anything, honestly, which is pretty damn cool. So you can take like a bright green and blend it with a bright purple, and it will make a gradient. So that's really cool and really fun. And it's really I really enjoy wet blending a lot. So what I'm trying to do is I'm gonna have the Hoeth blue, this kind of light blue that's up here. I'm gonna have that come down to around here or so, and then I'm gonna try to blend it out into the Xandri dust. I'm sorry, the Carrick stone that is down there. I'm gonna try and wet blend it. We'll see. I honestly don't know if that kind of light brownish is gonna look good with this blue. I just don't. I just these scrolls I find very boring, to be completely honest, and so I want to change them up a little bit, and maybe with wet blending. Oh my god! I hit his whole leg. No, no. Wounds on my feet. Thing about wet blending is you have to be somewhat quick because you need to do it while it's wet. And then you essentially can take either color and essentially extend it either way. So I want the blue to come down a little bit more. So I'm going to kind of throw some of the blue into there. I don't know if this is going to work. Just wanted something new. You're not wrong, Mikey. You're not wrong. That's me. Okay, you're from Hampshire originally. Live in that word in Wales. Cool. So do you have a Welsh accent or do you have a Hampshire accent? I think I know you're because I remember you're from Hampshire because I remember the story. Now I don't know what people from Hampshire sound like, but I feel like I can make a pretty good educated guess. Hello, we're from Hampshire. Boom, nailed it first try. And I only say that because I know you don't care about my horrible British accent. I don't know if this is working. I was worried that the blue wouldn't really go with this brown, and I don't think it does. Just wanted them to not be the same old scrolls, but they might need to be. Yeah, I don't think that's working. Yeah, sometimes you gotta try stuff. And sometimes that stuff don't work. No Welsh accent, really. Just a few Welsh words here or there. Yeah, that checks out. I don't know. I also think it's kind of weird because I didn't choose the same blue as the rest of the blue on them, which is kind of weird looking. I don't know. But nonetheless, that's wet blending, where you can take two colors that are not similar and don't go together, like this brown and this blue, and you can blend them out so there's a gradient between the two. It's a very, very cool technique. It's pretty easy to do as well, which is really cool. Um, uh, I'm gonna let this fully dry and then we'll come back and see. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know about that one. I would describe the Hampshire accent as slightly posh farmers. What? None of those words make sense. Quicksand, hit me up about Quad Heroes. I want to paint it so bad. Nick's accent master, Murphy, you know how I do. Posh, slightly posh farmer, because posh is like very posh. Hello, I'm very posh. I think that's posh. I don't know. Just very London posh, just proper and not not abrasive at all. You know. So okay, so posh farmer would be. Hello, I'm from Hampshire. Nailed it first try. First try. What's the tiebreaker for the next Death by Monsters episode? I have no idea. What do you tiebreaker? What do you mean by tiebreaker? What does everyone feel about this? Does this work? Does this work? Be honest. I'm not sure. I like the idea of it flowing into something else. I just don't know if I chose the right colors. Really, I want to make it like hot pink into like lime green, but David won't want that. So, I love wet blending though. Okay. So, let me do, while I try and decide, do you have to be careful not to overblend? I need to learn how to do that. Yes and no. The good thing is it's pretty, what's the word? It's pretty forgiving is what I'm trying to say. It's pretty forgiving. The main issue is you have to worry about putting on so much paint that you're going to lose the detail, which is why you need to thin out the paint a lot. Now, not so much that it's like water, but it's pretty easy, particularly if you're doing something with fur. Like, I don't have... Ryan, are you a part of our Discord? If you're not, join our Discord. Go to discord.thebrothersmurph.com. In the mini painting one, I have a picture of the Bigfoot that I painted, and I wet blended his fur. For fur, it's really useful. Really, really useful. So, and then for big stuff, like here, I'm going to grab one of the ones that I'm going to be doing soon. Oh, one of the ones I'm going to be doing soon. So, okay. All right, so this is one of the ones that... let's just do it this way. This is one of the ones that Tall David is commissioning me to paint. So she's like this big old demon lady thing. I don't know. Her name's Marathi. But her wings, and particularly her kind of big snake body thingy right here, I'm probably going to wet blend throughout the whole thing and make it a whole bunch of different colors and stuff. So for really big stuff like that, wet blending is dope. But it's pretty damn easy. Again, like most things, I would do it on something safer first, something you don't really care about first. But it's pretty damn easy. The good thing is because... The main thing is you have to do it while it's wet. So, ooh, that's interesting, Lynn. That is interesting. That is interesting. I didn't even think about doing bases like the sky. That's cool. That's cool. Maybe I will do that. I think I'm going to leave it for now. Because here's the thing. I could always redo it if I wanted to. I kind of like it. What I might do... is I might put this dark Kalendor blue, the dark blue that's up here, I might put that up top and then blend it into the light blue and then blend that into this brown. Because to me, I think the light blue against this dark blue is looking very, very odd. I don't know if any of that was on camera, by the way. But I might try that. So yeah, so the main thing, Ryan, is you have to make sure the paint has to stay wet. So I would get some kind of, you have to add a lot of water to it. And you kind of have to go quick. So the thing is, work in sections. Don't do the entire mini. Do like the stomach or do like the back or the leg or something like that. Do it like that so you can, I have to grab the wrong damn silver. So you can do it in sections. That's stupid. This silver, whenever I shake it, paint comes out. It gets all over my damn hands. And there's so many times where I've accidentally like touched a mini with hands I didn't know I had paint on. Ugh. But so, give it a shot though, Ryan. It's super easy. I think it's one of the easiest techniques to do, and it's super cool looking. It looks freaking rad. Yeah, and she's a babe. She's a babe, Bucky. That's what I'm probably most excited to paint. I'm terrified to paint her. I want to make that also very clear. Absolutely petrified to paint her. But I'm very excited at the same time. I'll probably spend like a long time on her. Like, I mean, she'll probably take like, my guess is like 30 hours. That's my guess. I'm going to spend time on that one. Yeah, paint transfer sucks, Becca. So right now I'm going to paint the weapons. And I'm using my go-to dark silver, which is Lead Belcher. And I'm just whacking this on. You got it, Ryan. What is this song? Okay, here. This song, this guy is like really bummed. That's autumn, I guess. Autumn comes too soon. I'm not ready. That's what he's saying. I'm like, what? Autumn comes too soon. That song was a gem. Autumn comes too soon. Alrighty, there's a he. Man. I'm over summer. Bring on the crisp air and cocoa. I'm ready. I'm not wrong. I'm not against it. I like wearing sweatshirts, so I'm pumped. Trust me. I have also like our falls and winters are very mild, so like it's switching from summer to fall here is like not that big a difference. Actually, uh, September and October tend to be the hottest months for LA, especially in the valley. So like it being autumn doesn't mean much. At night it's colder. That's where you can really tell. During the day, most times during the fall and even a lot of times during the winter, you can't really tell. You can't really tell. Nick, did you airbrush those wings? I did, but I was not airbrushing them for the wings. I was airbrushing them for the body. So I did airbrush the wings, but I'm going to be covering up all of the spindly parts of the wings. Um, I airbrushed the body because these guys are like 98% gold. So when I'm doing more than one of them, I have been airbrushing basically the entire thing in Liberator gold. I'm sorry, Retributor, whatever. This one, armor. This kind of dark gold. I've been airbrushing this on just to save myself an excessive amount of time, because I can airbrush these three dudes in about a minute and a half. Whereas if I'm base coating them with a brush, it'll take me like an hour and a half because I paint very slowly. So, I'm sorry, Cody. I did not see that question earlier. Yes, I use Citadel as a bunch of other people already mentioned. Yeah, so I have been airbrushing the body and the bulk of them with the gold, and then this part of the gold of the wings, these part right here, the kind of squiggly line, that part's gold. So I decided to do this anyway. But again, I'm gonna be covering up the wings, but it takes my base coating time down significantly. But like for this guy, I built this guy the other day. Him, I'm not going to airbrush because it's only one of them, and like the time it'll take to like set up my airbrush and get everything going, all that kind of stuff like that. I'd rather just paint him. Not to mention he has more stuff going on because he's like all about skeletons and bones. So in his armor, there's like little pieces of bone in there and stuff like that. So he's not quite as gold as everyone else, and so I'll just be straight up painting him. But I have been airbrushing as of late because it just goes so much faster. It's not even close. I think I am out of Muzak. Oh, Colors of Autumn, you were not that great. I'm not going to lie. You were not that great. Over emotional moments? Nah. I think last time I listened to Nordic melancholy pop, and that was an experience. That was an experience. It only ever rains here in Wells, slightly exaggerated, so crisp and dry days are bliss. I can imagine. Although I would love it's so green though. That's the thing. It's like LA, it's all dead and brown. All these guys are super shiny gold. If they were actually doing battle, wouldn't the armor get dirty, or is it magic that repels blood and gore? I think they just deal with the fact that it gets dirty. It's pretty, like if you look at art on these, like their armor is usually pretty scratched up and kind of messed up. So I don't think they really care about that. Quicksand, I think it's for them. They're kind of just like, whatever. We're still gonna be pretty damn gold. Are they gonna keep the tips white? They look sick as hell. Yeah. So I'm kind of going to do with the wings. I'm going to kind of do what I did for. Let me show this guy. What I did for the scroll. I'm probably gonna take a light blue, probably the same light blue. And I'm going to have light blue up here next to all the gold parts. And then I'm going to wet blend out into white. But they're mostly going to be white. Or maybe I'll do white into blue. We'll have to kind of see. Or maybe I'll ask you all about what y'all think. But yeah, so I'm going to be wet blending from light blue. I might even go lighter blue than this. I don't really have a lighter. I could do like Fenrisian gray, which is a very, very light gray blue. As I'm flipping you off, my apologies. Yeah, I didn't stop. That's right. I maybe do this into the white. That would probably look pretty good. But I might want it to be more blue. We'll have to kind of see. But yes, I will be keeping them primarily white. Do you use an airbrush primer as well? I just started. Like literally just experimented with it the other day because I want to do what is called zenithal highlights for priming. What zenithal highlights are is you prime a mini in black, and then you prime the entire thing in black, and then you prime at a 45-degree angle. You prime the whole thing at that 45-degree angle in gray, like a mid-tone gray. And then, so basically what that does is since you're only priming that part, the gray part, at 45 degrees, you won't hit the entire model. And you're priming the whole thing from above like this. So again, everything's black, and then you go 45 degrees at like this angle around like this. And it basically means anything that's underneath like that is going to stay black. And it's going to create natural shadows, because if the sun was at its zenith, which means it's directly above, that is how the shadows would cast on the mini, if you're essentially priming it as if a light source is coming directly from above. So that's why they're called zenithal highlights. And so, again, you do all black, you do 45-degree angles, gray all the way around, and then you do white directly from above. And so it creates the shadows and stuff for you. And so it does two things. One, you can essentially have a guide of where to put your shadows and where to put your highlights. So a lot of people will prime them with zenithal highlights, because the problem is once you paint them, all those zenithal highlights are going to go away. So a lot of people will take a picture of the mini and have that up in front of them, like on a computer or something like that, to keep them on the right track in terms of where to put their highlights. Or what you can do is you can have very thin paints, like really thin down your paints. And what that'll do is it'll make it so the zenithal highlights actually show through the paint. And it'll create shadows for you. Now, you're still going to have to do some highlighting. You're still going to do some other stuff. But it essentially does a decent amount of work for you and looks really, really good. So I'll show you. I did some testers because I want to start priming them. Again, if I'm doing like a big horde army or a bunch of different stuff, I won't do that. It's just not necessary to do that on individual model, on big horde armies. I really would only do it if I'm painting like an individual model. Like these guys, I would consider doing it, except for the gold paint that I'm using is thick and opaque enough that the shadows won't show through. So you can see on these two bing bongs, I did on 3 models, 2 small ones and a big one. These are the heroes from War of the Ring. So this is, I think, is supposed to be Aragorn. I don't particularly like the minis in this, but you can see, like, so all underneath here, let me see, make sure you can see this. It seems super neat. Yeah, it's very, very cool. I never thought to wash at an angle. Yeah, it's pretty darn cool. So you can see underneath here, sorry, I'm trying to think of a way you can show it. Underneath here is black. So it's essentially underneath his arm stuff that is still black. And then, again, I primed at a 45-degree angle. And then white directly from above. So you can see the top of his arms here and the top of his head are all white. Now, this is kind of a stupid model to do this on because he's just literally he's standing incredibly straight like this. There's no curves to it for this to really show. But you can see, like, the tops of his feet are, like, pure white. The top of his head and the top of his arms and shoulders are, like, pure white. And the rest of him, so if you're looking at him directly on like that, you can see he has a natural highlight. Now, again, that looks like it's from this light, but it's not. Like, say I turn off this light. Boom. So you can see that highlight is still there. And that's the whole purpose of it. So then I did it on... I can turn this back on. I did it on this is Frodo and Sam. Now, they have more going on. So, again, you can see underneath there, they're still black. And they're also hunched over like this a little bit. So, underneath here, this is all much darker than it is on this side for that reason. So, you can see the 45-degree angle creates the highlight. And then directly from above, again, they're very, very light. And that creates a light source essentially directly from above. And then I did it on this one. This is a big dog from Shadows of Brimstone. So this here, again, you can see is a guy who the white is hitting the top of his head, the top of his tentacle things here, and then all across his shoulders here. And then as he goes down here, you can see this is where the gray is hitting. And then underneath here, underneath his tentacle arms, all that stuff, you can see it's very, very dark. Sorry, it's hard to show without getting his base in the way. So you can see it's very, very dark. So when you're showing it from the front, you can see those shadows are already there, but those shadows aren't being created by the light source, because I can turn it off here. Those shadows are being created by the priming. So that's what zenithal highlights do, and they're very, very cool, and I've been wanting to do them for a while. And you can do them with your normal like rattle can, but rattle cans are not precision, and you kind of need some more precise stuff if you want it. So this guy really shows it the best because he has a lot of stuff that's underneath, and so you can see underneath him there, it's very, very dark because that part is still black. And you can see on his like chest here, you can see like the black and then the gray and then the white above here. It ends up looking very, very cool. To the point where like if you really didn't want to paint them, you could just prime them all like that, and they'd probably look pretty damn good, to be completely honest. So yeah, so that's what Zenithal highlights are. So going back, Cody, I have started airbrush priming, and I've been wanting to do it 100% for that reason. I've been wanting to do Zenithal highlights for a while now, especially on big minis. You know, like the big minis I showed off earlier, like it just gives you a good guide. So, yeah, that's my TED Talks on Zenithal highlights. I think I'm painting the slowest I've ever painted today, because I have literally done nothing. I have painted the blue part, their shafts, now the heads of these things, and then I did one of those scrolls, and I've been here for like 2 hours. So, for everyone who's probably going to complain about this in the comments, sorry. I paint very slowly, especially when I'm talking. I have not done anything. What have I done today? I have not done anything. Okay, Nick, you need to speed up. What do I have left? I think I'm on the wings at this point. Oh, poop on a stick. I might be on the wings. Yeah, I'm on the wings. Okay, so I'm going to test something. So I'm trying to decide whether to go from like Hoeth blue or maybe like Lothorn blue, this is probably too blue. Nah, it's too blue. This is kind of a more light angelic blue. That or Fenrisian gray to white. I'm worried that the gray is going to be too light. Like the difference between this and this won't be very noticeable. Whereas this to this will be pretty noticeable. Let's go the blue. Let's go with the blue. And then question, what do you all think? Do you think I should have the blue up here and then fade into white, or have it go white fading down into blue? Do you have one of those fancy filters, or do you shoot outside? I shoot outside. I have a patio right off my room, and so I airbrush out there. Because airbrushing, by the way, is not good to do in an enclosed space. You do need some ventilation. So we're distracting you. Yeah, you guys are, but that's okay. I don't mind. I like doing this on stream. I just realize how slow I paint when I'm talking the entire time. I think going from blue to white is better. So let's go ahead and do that. And solid pun work. Blue to white. Okay, Cody. Good call. Solid pun work, Becca. All right. So again, I need to create 2 pots. Let's go ahead and switch this. Of wet paint. Okay, this is gonna be interesting. Blue to white, blue to white, blue to white, fade to white. Okay, cool. Everyone's on the same page. I was thinking the exact same thing. Again, just adding some flow enhancer to slow down the drying time. Because this hopefully won't take very long, but I don't use a wet palette. I want to start again. I used to use one, but I didn't have a very good setup for it. I need to redo my wet palette setup. So I use the flow enhancer to keep my stuff from drying out. But if I had a wet palette, I probably wouldn't need to use it, or at least would not need to use it nearly as much. And I want more white because I don't want it to be like 50-50. I want it to be like 1/3 blue, 2/3 white. So now this, I may... trying to think. So I may end up having to do... I'm trying to think. Because the problem is these are kind of covered in gold, and white, by its very nature, at least this white, is relatively transparent. So I'm worried that the white is just going to get buried by this gold. That's actually not too bad. Okay. So let's go blue first. And I'm not too worried about hitting this gold because the gold will be pretty easy to highlight. And I'm going to have to touch up the gold anyway, so screw it. Okay. Man. That is the only issue. Is white is very easily corrupted. So the thing about wet blending is I can bring this blue down basically as far as I want because I can always go back with the white and push that blue back up by essentially covering it up with the white. The good thing about these wings is they are pretty featureless. They're just kind of these rods of white. So I don't have to worry too much about oversaturating them with paint and losing a ton of detail because frankly there's just not a lot of detail there. So kind of push this up. So this is how I kind of wet blend. I kind of go back and forth between the two colors or more colors that I'm wet blending, and I kind of go until I'm to somewhere that I'm happy. And wet blending is also extremely satisfying. Mainly with wet blending and really any kind of blending, whether you're doing drawing or painting minis or whatever, is you never want a straight line. Like right now, I kind of got a straight line going down here with the blue, but that's fine because I'll push it back up with some white. But you really don't want straight lines because very few things in nature or anything are straight like that. So you really have to try and avoid that, or else it'll look just wrong. It'll look like something is weird. I'm not too worried about this down here because at the very end, I'll probably end up doing a last coat in white down there at the very end anyway. So I'm mostly focusing on the upper part. Because that's the part that needs to be blended. So proving to be a little more difficult than I was expecting. Don't like that. I think that looks like garbage. Now, part of that is because there's these awkward dark blue parts that are actually going to be painted gold again. So all these, again, these squiggly lines that are coming out, those will be gold, and that might make it look better. But I am not digging my wet blending today, fam. I think they're just not looking great. I need like yeah, these guys are proven to be the bane of my damn existence. I don't know. I'm not liking it. Yeah, I use a Tupperware thing too. The one I was using though had too high of walls, and it was really hard to get my brush in there. It was really bugging me. I'm sorry, Steve. That sucks. Okay. Honestly, not pumped about that. I don't particularly think that looks good. But I'm going to leave it for now because I think one of the problems is I think there's a lot of like blue and stuff down here. So I'm going to go back. So once it dries, I'm going to go back and do a lot of the parts that I want to be pure white again. And I think that might help it. Also, I think having this back to gold as it's supposed to be will help. So this one, I'm going to try and not hit the gold parts. I was really not worrying about it at all, the first wing. So this wing, let's go ahead and worry about it. Because I think that's throwing me off. Because that blue that's on the gold parts of the wings is not being blended. Because I'm like, there's no point. So let me keep them gold how they're supposed to be, like this. Although that is very difficult with this one. So this one we're going to say screw it because it's literally... my brush is not small enough to get in there. Alright, so the main thing with this part down here is none of this is wet. I need to make sure this is all staying wet. So you really got to kind of lather it on here to make sure it stays wet or else it won't blend at all. 2 weeks of bad back and counting. I know, it sucks. Did the temperature affect the paints or quality of the plastic? Quality of the plastic doesn't too much because you're painting on top of primer, and primer is what matters. Humidity is really what can affect it. Humidity can really affect paint. Particularly like drying times, all that kind of stuff. Humidity is what you got to watch out for. So right now I'm just trying to get this pure white down. I'll try not to contaminate. I might have been going just a little too fast on that last half of the wing over there. Okay, now let's start blending. And I brought this blue way too far down, so let's blend it back up. See, I feel like the blue doesn't go down enough. I feel like every time I brought it down more, it just didn't look good. Let's try. Looks okay. I'm painting like hot garbage today, fam. I cannot paint to save my freaking life. The more I'm looking at it, the more I don't like this scroll. I think I'm going to completely change it. I really don't like it. I think I'm just going to keep it a normal scroll. Alright, so what I'm going to try and do now... How long have we been going? I think I might call it... Yeah, humidity is everything. You're not wrong. I think I'm going to try and call it after this right here. Because I've already been going for 2 hours and I have some other stuff I wanted to do. And I was hoping... I was literally like, oh, maybe I'll start base coating this guy. Pfft, no. Painted so slow today. I'm going to try and redo the gold on these wings to see if that makes a difference. It's kind of hard to tell how something's actually looking when not everything is the right color. So let's see if I can get that going. Okay, having the gold on there definitely helps. Man, I'm still not crazy about it though. Hmm. All right. Well, that does help for sure. The gold. Come on, fix it. Okay. I don't hate it as much as I did a second ago. Having the gold back where it's supposed to be definitely helps, but I don't know. It's not my day. I'm just not painting well. Not painting quickly. I'm not painting well. I'm painting super sloppy. I don't know. I don't know. I'll have to keep it going though. But that's okay. That looks all right. That's not my favorite, but that looks okay. All right, people. I think you got it right. No worries. I think I'm gonna head out. This has been awesome, but I got some other stuff I wanted to do. Again, I was sorry I didn't get more done. I was hoping to get more done. But hey, that's the nature of things. I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your weekend. Mike and I'll be back streaming on our normal times over on Twitch next week. We will have a Kickstart Let Heart where we go through Kickstarter with the chat. We'll have that on Sunday on YouTube here. It should be at 6 p.m. on Sunday. I think it'll be Mike doing this one, but we'll have to double check on that. But nonetheless, thank you all for being here. I really appreciate that. Appreciate you all. And I think that's going to be it. All right, buddy. Bye.